Hello, it's Gavin Krupa here from IGN, and we are looking at Need for Speed. Krupa, what is this thing we're looking at?
It's a really short trailer for the new Need for Speed, which is called Need for Speed.
Why is it called Need for Speed? Why doesn't it have a fancy title?
Because they don't need a fancy title, because this is being pitched as a full reboot.
Okay.
Recently I spoke to the executive producer at EA Ghost, who are making the game.
Yeah.
And, you know, Need for Speed's been in production for like 20 odd years, and for a good chunk of those 20 years, I think the first one was in 1994.
Right.
For a good chunk of them, it's been annualised.
I wasn't calling you a liar. I'm sure you were.
Well, you were. It's all right, mate. I've done my facts. At least I've prepped. And for most of those years, it's been annualised.
Yeah.
And there's been people, different studios have worked on it, different creative directors. Criterion have made some great games, in particular, that I really enjoyed. And because all these different creative teams have worked on it, it has no identity, is kind of what Marcus Nielsen was telling me. So they had a year off.
Yeah.
The studio made Rivals when Next Gen first came out. They've had a year off. They've gone back to the drawing board and kind of thought, what should Need for Speed be? So they've cherry-picked elements from previous games.
Cool.
And kind of, put it in this, which is like their new manifesto.
I like it. Cool. So, I mean, it's all taking place at night, right?
Yeah, so it opens with a bit of nighttime racing, and the press release says it's set in an open world, a nocturnal open world.
Yeah.
So all at nighttime.
Just like the Batman games.
Kind of like them, but without Batman fighting.
Without
mainly
Batman.
car-based driving.
Okay, sweet. Okay.
I don't know what city this is. They haven't name-checked a city, so I reckon it's probably a fictional city, which a lot of Need for Speed games have.
Like a fictional city like Detroit or something made up like that?
Yes. Excellent. Yes, just like that, but not.
Right.
So this is kind of... Well, this reminded you one particular Need for Speed title, didn't it? The opening of this.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like Underground, definitely, and I think like it's got that sort of underground racing, like Fast and the Furious type feel. Like it's all the teaser's sort of done with like found footage type stuff, with like, oh no, it's the cops, and like people shouting from like behind the camera and things like that, which I quite like.
This guy almost gets hit by this car as well.
He's getting really close to that car.
He loves his underground car racing.
It's not worth it, mate. It's the views on YouTube. It's not worth dying for.
So we can confirm there's a really fast car in this game.
Yeah, probably like Mitsubishi or something.
What do you reckon that is?
Don't know. Mitsubishi.
Yeah.
Vauxhall,
you can tell from that shot.
Vauxhall Corsa.
There you go.
I saw a van earlier.
So it's all in it. So this, we should say, this is, it says at the end of the trailer, but this is in-engine footage.
Wow.
It says, well, racing games always look really nice.
Exactly.
Cars show off hardware in a really great way.
Also, like cities at nights as well. Whack some water on the floor and like reflections and stuff. It always looks good as well.
It looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I like this next shot. Again, what you're saying is kind of found footage, crash zooms. Also cops. So you said Underground, but I think another one in the series they're kind of name-checking for influence is Most Wanted.
Okay,
the idea of being on the run.
Yeah.
Having kind of loose story narrative elements.
Yeah.
And here you are being chased by the cops.
Well, he's learned his lesson, this guy has, because came a little bit too close to them on the last shot, so he's gone behind a fence or something, yeah?
Fences are good.
Yeah.
And some concrete in the way just in case. Oh, I don't think this is the camera angle in the game.
Right, that's good.
Because I think it'd make me a bit queasy.
Usually it really annoys me when, like in first-person shooters and stuff, you get like water or sort of like lighting effects on your, from your perspective, because you think, well, these are meant to be my eyes, not so they wouldn't have lens flare.
Maybe everyone in first-person shooters wear glasses.
Maybe. But I wear glasses and I don't get water on them that much, to be honest. I'm not looking up, I'm walking straight down.
I feel like we're getting bogged down.
I feel like we are as well. What's going on in this?
So the press release makes no a statement about whether you can play as cars. It's really focusing on being kind of that underground racer.
Where you can play as cops, sorry.
As cops, sorry.
Yeah.
Again, switching to...
But I mean, you think, like, if they're cherry-picking all the best bits of Need for Speed, you think really... Like,
Possibly,
Most Wanted is a very cool thing, especially when you take it online as well.
Hot Pursuit as well. These cops in it. So it is, it's part of the franchise, maybe.
Yeah.
It's something that they'll announce at a later date. But the city looks really detailed.
It does look really, really good.
It's really, almost like photorealistic.
And I like how there's traffic and stuff like that going on, because even though it's late at night, there's still stuff like... What's on the background, though? That's the Gherkin, surely.
I think, no, it's just a building. Well, this is definitely a North American city.
Oh, this is not London.
Check out that cop car there.
Where?
In the previous shot, we were just analysing for about 2 minutes.
Yeah. But this could be a different part. This could be a different city altogether, though, couldn't it? Porsche. Green Porsche there.
There you go. Thank you.
Having that?
Thank you, Clarkson.
And a Toyota Avensis. Excellent. And this, another van. Okay, I mean, it does look really, really good, and it's all in engine, so I quite like that. But again, it's a very, very short teaser. But I guess it kind of just gives you a feel for the kind of thing.
I think
they're
it's like
going
to
for.
set the mood, what they're doing, and they probably just want to get that messaging out. They're rebooting it, and I think Fast and Furious is a great kind of touch point or comparison because look at what that franchise has become.
Yeah,
it's become an absolute monster, and it shows that people kind of, even if they might not be massively into car culture, stuff like that shows that cars have a real lure for people, especially that kind of outlaw stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you might not have guessed from like obviously the insight that I've been given on these cars, but I'm not really into car culture. I don't know about different cars. I know about some cars, but I'm not really into it that much. But I do enjoy Need for Speed games, and I do really like Fast and Furious. So I think if they can sort of tap into that, why people who are not into cars are into that kind of stuff, then they're on to
Yeah, because when I spoke to Nielsen, he said, ever since Next Gen came out, you see like this almost kind of ascendancy of the racing genre in popularity. It's got really popular again, and there's lots of games that cater for different needs. There's the Crew, Project Cars for a bit more hardcore, Forza Horizon 2, again, kind of pitched in between your hardcore and your casual. Yeah. I think Need for Speed was always really accessible.
Definitely,
but one of the things that it kind of, it was uneven depending on which studio was making it, what year it was.
Yeah,
and like certain elements like car customization, they said will be a bigger thing in the new Need for Speed, which I think is one aspect they've kind of fallen behind other racing titles.
Okay, yeah.
So I wonder if that's like, your pimped out Porsche, you've chosen that spoiler.
Yeah, that could be quite cool actually. I mean, Underground for me is one of my favourite ever racing games. Like in recent years, like Forza Horizon has probably sort of like taken over it. But I just think like Underground had a really good sense of, and EA are really good at doing this, like a really good sense of like building a world and building an atmosphere. And they're perfect at doing that with stuff like Fight Night and things like that. And I think for Underground, you have this sort of almost like Fast and Furious type feel, and you have these characters, and also the soundtrack as well. Like one of the best soundtracks in any games, I think Need for Speed Underground was.
Yeah, and like Underground, they've even name checked it when I interviewed the dude.
Yeah.
But obviously there's going to be more elements from other games thrown in here. Otherwise, I think they would have just gone and called it Underground, whatever. Yeah. Like in Next Gen.
Even more underground.
We've gone even further underground.
Deeper underground. Need for Speed Deeper Underground.
With Paul Weller.
Oh my god, that'd be good, wouldn't it? All right, so what have we got here? More cars.
So it seems like a collection of racers joining together.
Yeah.
So almost like a street race with the cops in pursuit.
Yeah. But I really like the idea that sort of like they're having to get away with things and having to deal with the cops as well as, just racing and doing whatever they're doing as well.
Can we read that sign? It's a bit too blurry. Too fast.
Hang on. Let's have a look. Free span. Free pour.
Free span?
Free span. Loco. Go back. I got it.
What? What do you say?
Loco prepaid.
Loco prepaid.
Boss Revolution Master Dealer. There we go.
There you go. Confirmed. That's in the game.
I think that's just for parking. I think it's a prepaid parking thing. That's good, isn't it? Multi-stories confirmed.
One of the things they're announcing at E3 is parking DLC.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right. So then it comes to an end. This song as well that's playing in it is Ishi Push It featuring Pusha T, which is actually quite a new song. So it's good that they are still, getting, because as I mentioned, like Underground has an amazing soundtrack and had like a load
Lots
of
of the games have, yeah.
So it's good that they're still, they're still going with that. Even like Battlefield Hardline now has one of the best soundtracks of the year, I think.
Cool, and that's the Need for Speed Reboot, which is coming out this autumn for PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. For more, stay right here on IGN.